Hello, this is Vanessa Love, and this is my channel about the mental health field and related topics. All right, new background, yay, and also new location. So this is my office in New York. Very happy about this move, and I hope you will enjoy the background as it will probably change over time. Let's see. So I wanted to talk about court hearings. I know it's in the news lately, and some of the things I've seen have been it's the exact nightmare that as to why I would never want anyone to sign anything for their lawyer or court to say I could talk about everything related to their case. Luckily, with HIPAA, you are allowed to control every aspect of what is talked about in court. You can even say that they can talk to me for 5 minutes, and that's all that they have. Outside of that, everything would have to be forced to be on record. So you can, sign a paper that says that I can only talk about treatment. I can only talk about very specific things. I don't recommend that anyone sign over their medical record to a lawyer or someone who is not in the medical field, because it's kind of one of those things where I think that, and I have a suspicion that anyone who has your full medical record, everything, that they would go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make all of the assumptions and particulars that they would like to about you. And so I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think that that information should be given to someone who wouldn't necessarily understand what medical records are or how to read them. So, I've definitely had clients tell me that absolutely hands down that's what they needed for court, when actually what they needed was just a letter to say that they were attending and that they were working on some things. And that's why I like to sometimes talk to lawyers to make sure that I am at the understanding as to what's expected for court. If I do have to write a court letter, I write it so concise that it's like, this person is attending sessions. Last session attended was blank. They are working towards goals of blank. That is all that I feel like they really need, and if they need anything else, they probably should connect you to someone who can do a full assessment or who is an expert in the field. I'm not an expert. I don't even know how you become an expert. I don't want to become an expert. Don't need it. So there's that. There's the only case as of recently that I've ever written anything for that I was like, oh my God, I can't just, was an immigration case. And it was basically this letter that said, if you separate this family, there's going to be severe emotional problems. And I'm like, I don't feel like as a therapist I should be, required to have to explain that to someone who's a human. It's kind of ridiculous. Is that not obvious? Why? What? Don't tear apart families. That's a cool thing, right? Let's keep them all together in the same country. So, it's not particularly anything that I like. There are therapists who do have online courses that other therapists can take about how to deal with court, so that everyone's kind of happy. I think court kind of gets in the way of any sort of treatment. It can halt it, it can damage it, and again, go when you're in court and you need someone to do an assessment on a situation or whatnot, have the court refer you to someone who they've worked with. I don't work with courts. I don't care. I don't care for that, because in the end, if I have to be called into court, it takes away from my treatment of everyone else. I have to take the day off. I have to plan move everyone around, and like, it's not even like, oh, cool, I got the day off. Like, no, I have to be someplace that I don't want to be and probably asking questions that I don't want to answer. And I advise my clients, like, if you want them to only talk to me for 5 minutes, make that known. If you only want them to focus on this thing, let that known. Like, you do not have to have all of your information out there for public, and you shouldn't. You should like, have medical privacy, and that's what HIPAA is about anyway. So that's what that should be, So yeah, like, just remember that if there is ever a situation that you are in court, that like, you don't have to use your current therapist as someone who is involved with court. And if you do decide to go that route, you have every chance to control everything about that interaction between, judge, lawyers and therapists. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, I wish everyone the best in, whatever court situation that they're in, and I hope that was helpful. All right, I will talk with you soon. Thanks.